Channeling a little salty cracker there for you. So, you know what we're talking about today? Sleepydragon. The never-ending story sort of mix. So we got about 3 different main things going on in this mix. The first, of course, is the never-ending story. It's called Sleepydragon. There's an actual track called Sleepydragon, which I remember listening to when I was 11. I mean, this goes just way back. It is one of the greatest books ever written. And the movie, while it's good, I mean, it's good. But where the movie ends is literally halfway through the book. And the movie just sort of tacks this stupid ending with Bastion on the Luck Dragon's back going... Yeah. So when I started making this, I'm like, well, I wanted to incorporate some of the music from the movie, obviously the song Sleepydragon. And I wanted some more of the music from the movie, but not too much. And I also did not want this to be about the book or the movie, The Neverending Story. I just wanted it to be... I wanted to make something new. So, in The Neverending Story, or in any story, really, there has to be a conflict. There has to be... Something has to happen. It can't just be... Oh, we're just walking down the street, and picking flowers. I mean, it's boring. So there had to be some sort of conflict within the structure of the mix. So I decided to use this theme from Resident Evil to introduce the antagonist, which in the book is the Nothing. Okay, there's how can you explain the Nothing? It's nothingness that is enveloping Fantastica and just... It's basically just destruction. The Nothing is the ultimate destroyer of worlds. So I wanted to introduce that with this song from Resident Evil, the game, the original, which I love that song. And then the second part, I was really I wanted scenes, but from what? Well, I fell back on my favorite movie, which is Poltergeist. It's a stand-in for the Nothing. The Poltergeist is the Nothing. Okay? I think if you look at it that way, that might help. And the third component of the mix, which is probably the most surprising, it surprised the hell out of me, is Schoolhouse Rock. The America songs. The patriotic songs. Let's see here. So I put 3 of them on here. No More Kings, The Shot Heard Round the World, and then the last Schoolhouse Rock song, The Great American Melting Pot, which I'll get into why that one is last. When we were kids, when we were watching Saturday morning cartoons, in between them, they would stick these 4 or 5 minute short cartoon songs. They would teach you stuff. Some taught you math, some taught you science, and some taught you history, American history. Very simplified. But as a, as an introduction for young children, it's good. But the music, and the cartoons were, fine, but the music to this day really holds up, I think. And it was very it was very 70s kind of vibe. And it's good listening, and so I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna put some Schoolhouse Rock on, we gotta do it all in one mix. So I picked the 3 best ones I could find from America Rocks, and I put them on there. I think one of the reasons I'm sort of struggling to explain myself here is because you can't think of the mix as just a story like, well, this happened and then this happened and then this happened and whatnot. Like some of the others, like Second Wind. Okay, Second Wind was this happened, then this happened, then that happened. The end. You know what I mean? Trinity was sort of like that as well. It has a plot of sorts, but it's dreamy. It's dreamy. We're in the never-ending story. There is evil. It kidnaps a little girl. We fight the evil. We get her back. We go on with our lives. It comes back. And that's where we get Escape from Suburbia, which is one of the last scenes in the movie Poltergeist.
Drive away! Daddy, drive away! Hurry! Daddy! The house is coming!
I've always wanted to put this on something. That scene represents the absolute destruction of Fantasia. And then we're left with One Grain of Sand, where the childlike Empress gives to Bastian the last remnant of the entire realm, a little grain of sand, and every life begins anew. Now, see, in the movie, that's where they get stupid. In the book, it gets a lot more complicated. So we're not going into that. And so, Bastian needs to wish. He needs to make wishes in order for Fantasia to be born again. What he wishes is for the Great American Melting Pot. See where we're going with this? That's what he wishes. Because I suppose that's what I would wish. For this nightmare we're living in to end. America is supposed to be a melting pot. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay? You want to talk about diverse? There is no place on planet Earth that has ever been this diverse, with this many different types of people. And the wish is that we can basically all get along, you know? I know I simplify things. It's what I do. I try to explain or express things through other people's music. It's what the channel's really about, or supposed to be about, at least for me. And it's hope. it always comes back to that hope, wishing. What you don't wish for will always be beyond your reach. So that was the basic reason for this mix to exist. And then, you know, we wrap it up with, you know, Bastion's Happy Flight, where he goes, and and then of course, end with Little Starlight Express. You know, just to end on a really, really happy note. So I hope you'll give it a shot. It's definitely strange. I'd be willing to admit, but as always, I like it. I mean, you know, what are we gonna do? Alright, well, I hope you have a good day and night wherever you are. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
It could drive it with a beat. Choo, choo, choo.